Alright, so once we're done patching our noise across the several forms, I'm going to take this and actually do two things with it. One, I'm going to package it up as a group, okay? Only because it'll come in handy later for making selections. So I'm going to take all the layers that have all these individual parts, and I'm just going to go layer, group layers, okay? There we go. Now another thing I want to do is take and turn everything off and put a background in. Well, I guess you wouldn't need a background. This will do. So I want to take this and go edit, copy merged. So this will give me my merged version without merging my layers. So edit, paste. Very good. So there it is. And one more thing. So I got these layers, they got passed through. That'll work. Good. Now if I turn this to multiply, I should get that same result. Turn this one off. This is only for selections now. Okay, now we just have to reduce the noise a little bit. And we could do that in two different ways. One via opacity, one via blur. So, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Give that a slight blur. And send it down to an opacity. Very good. Maybe a little bit more opacity. And I look for things like this. See that right there? That's bad. We can repair that actually right now using like the clone stamp tool. I can go in here and just quickly hold Alt, click. So we're just getting a slight grain. Alright, now I like to start the coloring process. With metal, there's not a whole lot of coloring, so what I'm going to do is show you kind of a couple methods that I use to do metal. So I want a blackish type metal. So the first thing I do is build a layer of black, and I can use opacity to tint that layer back. But I like to keep some of my details, so I use kind of a multiply layer. That way I'm sure to get all the detail below. Okay. And I'm just going to make another layer with blue. And I can tint this layer back a little bit. Again, multiply. So I just give it that cold blue look. Okay, the next thing, this background layer, what I do is I duplicate this and bring it all the way to the top. Okay. And I'm going to set it to multiply again, a lot of multiplies. And you can see that what that did is strengthened up all the little areas in here. So I'm going to turn this off. Strengthen up like these lines. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go image adjustments exposure. And I'm going to adjust the exposure down pretty dark actually. Right about there. And now the reason I did that is because we got to hand paint some stuff in here. So if I have this layer set to multiply, I can use this tool, the dodge tool. I'm going to have it on midtones, a very low exposure ratio. And I'm going to take a very fine brush, oops, and just kind of go in and hit all these little tiny, where two forms meet. So I'm going to lightly brush in here. And what's going to happen is, if I keep doing this over and over again, it'll give it the illusion that the piece is more 3D. So in here, especially like this, see how I'm using the edge loops to distinguish where the edge of that handle is? That's very important that we know where the edge of the handle is. Same with this. Alright, now, I won't lie, this does take a little bit of time. So what you should do is probably go through the entire process here and add some highlights to it. Okay, and you can be as zoomed as you want, just, you know, on every edge dealing with an outside form, just add a little bit of white. Alright, so when you get done with that, meet me in the next video.